Hello guys, this is Tanzim Kazi, and I'm making this video because I'm pretty sure some of my subscribers are either curious about why I'm not doing anything on this channel for over a week, or worried about something like that. Although I'm pretty sure those people didn't know that I'm on other platforms. I'm sure I would receive questions like, where is Tanzim K? Or what happened to Tanzim K? The answer is a pretty long story, so I'm gonna talk about it right now. So, it started on Sunday, January 8, 2023, when I woke up early in the morning and I checked the notifications on my phone. And one thing that catched my attention is the one that said, account action required. So I tap on this notification and it asked me to type in my password. So I type in my password, but it told me that the password was changed less than an hour ago. And this is where the drama started. I was shocked when I saw that message, because I did not change my password. I kept trying to put in my password, but it didn't seem to work. And this is a big problem for me. All my devices were signed in to this Google account, and as a result of this issue, I pretty much lost access to my Google stuff. That includes my Android phone and my iPad. So I went to my computer, opened Chrome, and I saw something suspicious with my Google account. I saw that I was logged out of my Google account, so I tried logging in with the password that I had before. This time, they asked me for the physical security key, but I did not have a security key of any kind, whether it's a USB key or a wireless key. So I skipped that, and they asked me for the backup codes, which I also do not have. After skipping that, they told me to type the password that I could remember, only to find out that Google couldn't verify that this account belongs to me. Because I don't have any of these two, this means that I cannot have access to my Google account, so I pretty much lost access to that account. And I tried to go to g.co/recover, only to go to the same area where I couldn't sign in to my account. Google also told me that there was some kind of malware on my account, and at first I thought it was a false positive. I'll talk more about that later on. With me losing access to my Google account, I lost access to my YouTube account, my Google Drive, my Google Photos that have a lot of pictures I have on my old devices, including my old photos, my Gmail, and my Google Keep that has some of the more important notes in my life. This caused me to panic even harder, because I never expected this to happen, and I was probably not prepared for situations like this. This was one of the most stressful situations of my life, since I had this account for almost 10 years, and I built myself on a lot of things on this account. And it's just the first month of 2023, which makes me have the impression that this year might be as bad as, if not worse, than 2020. One thing that baffles me is that I think I do remember having two-step authentication on my account. That includes using my Outlook account for when I couldn't log into my account, using my phone number, and using Google Authenticator. I just couldn't understand why people were able to break into my account when I had 2FA. It could be brute force or something. I started informing my friends on Discord about the issue I'm having, and those people understand what I had to go through. Then I made posts about my issues on Twitter and Instagram. I would also go to the Twitter forums to talk about my old account being compromised. And I received a reply from a gold product expert, and it turns out the methods doesn't seem feasible for me. I started watching videos about people having their Google or YouTube accounts hacked or compromised, and at least 2 of them talked about how they finally got their account back. And then I went to forums and tweets and Reddit posts about the issues, and unfortunately, it's kind of a 50-50 chance. This made me panic even harder. Because what if I lost access to my account forever? That would be almost 10 years of progress down the toilet. And this panicking feel affected me through my daily life, which means that I could have some kind of an anxiety disorder. On Twitter, I made several tweets talking about the issue I had, and some of the tweets mentioned Google's Twitter account. And in an egregious way, they did not respond. Because I posted tweets like this, I am met with replies from people claiming that they have some kind of hackers or computer engineers that help them regain access to their accounts. Even at first sight, I already found something fishy about these accounts. A few of these accounts were created as recently as December 2022. So I chose not to follow these accounts, which I'm pretty sure they're just bots. I don't want to make the situation even worse. Since Google did not respond to my tweet, I decided to try Team YouTube the next day, which I was told they were more responsive. And they're actually right. Team YouTube actually responded to the issues I'm having, and they told me to follow them so I can DM with them. However, one thing I'm skeptical about is that the responses that they have are pretty much the same response with other people who shared a similar issue as me. Nonetheless, I proceeded with them, and at first things weren't going well, as they asked me to go to the link that they provided, only to find out it was pretty much the same page that I was struggling to log in. Additionally, I, or in this case, my brother, chatted with an actual human who worked at Google, talking about my account being compromised. However, it proved to be no help when the worker said there's nothing they can do about my account, and my emotions get worse as a result of that. With me losing access to my old Google account, I have to make a new one, a new personal Google account. So I created one, logged in this account to my mobile devices, and changed the email addresses of my accounts, including my social media platforms and services. However, there are a few that required me to have a verification code, which meant a nightmare scenario where I could no longer have access to these accounts, and having to create a new one, including Discord, even though the concern was likely mended by the fact that I can use my phone number and a QR code, although the latter is on computers. With the new Google account means new YouTube account, which I had to subscribe to a lot of the subscriptions on my old YouTube channel and have to make playlists for videos in my favorites playlist. This process was lengthy, and I was about to make a new channel, which made me nervous, but I did eventually make one. The channel name is a fox named Tanzim Kazi, and the handle is Tanzim Kazi the Fox, which is almost the same as my Instagram username. With me having a new YouTube channel, I decided to make an unscripted video talking about my account being compromised, what would I do if I got my account back, the future of the channel, and others. I then spread this video to my friend circles, and during that time, I have a feeling that this might be my new permanent channel in the case where I lost access to my old channel forever. And I was thinking about creating this channel at the time when I was talking with Team YouTube and a human worker from Google. But things can get better over time, right? On Thursday, January 12th, I received an email from the YouTube support team where they told me to submit this form if I believe that my account has been compromised, so I filled out that form with help from my brother. with me filling out that form using my new Google account, the team would start investigating the problem that I have to deal with. In the process of that, I'm starting to notice that my YouTube channel icon was changed from my January 2019 drawing of my persona to a slashed gray icon, which makes me scared a little bit because I have a feeling that I would end up losing my channel. However, it's the same thing with my Google account. When I received an email from the support team on Saturday, January 14, which was received very early in the morning, they told me that my account was indeed compromised, and as a result, they temporarily disabled my account, which explains the slashed gray icon. My reaction is a mix of hopeful and nervous. While it makes me nervous that I could end up losing all my Google stuff as a result of my account being disabled for quite some time, retrospectively speaking, it is also a good thing because this would prevent hackers from doing bad stuff to my account, particularly the promotion of illegal crypto schemes, which some of the big YouTubers fell victim into. This began a 4-day process in attempting to get my account back. In the same email, they asked me to follow the steps that they provided, but they didn't work. So they asked me to do a follow-up escalation claim where I used my Outlook email address, but it didn't work either, both because I would end up going to the same page where I tried to log in but failed. So I sent an email to the team informing that I was having trouble doing the steps. They replied by apologizing about my unsuccessful attempt and later asked me for the contact email, which I did provide in my reply. And after that, they went to the account recovery team and they told me to expect a response from them. This is the point where my anxiety levels are slowly but surely improving. Sure, I was pretty apprehensive when I was going through this process, but I'm somewhat hopeful that I can get my account back. But the last hour of Tuesday, January 17, is when a miracle happened to prove me wrong about my account being lost forever and to provide me immense relief with good news. About 15 minutes until midnight, I received an email from Google on my Outlook account, so I checked that email and they gave me a password reset link, which I immediately anticipated. So I clicked on the link and the first thing that blessed me is the password reset page, which means that I can have the chance to regain my access to my account. What I did is to come up with a password, and when I type in my new password, I was met with options to put in recovery info. So I used my phone number as my recovery phone number, my Outlook email address as my recovery email, and my Google Authenticator app as my 2FA method. When I do all of that, I was signed in to the account that I lost access to before. In other words, I have finally regained access to my Google account. This is one of the most cathartic situations that I had in my life, and this was also the most relieving experience I had. I was so filled with relief and happiness. I was so happy about regaining access to my old account that I was actually crying like a baby when this happened. Not only do I get my old Google account back, but I also have access to my YouTube account. All my stuff in Google Drive survived. All my photos and videos in Google Photos remain fully intact. I can still see my old emails, and all my Google Keep notes are still there. It's already good enough that I still have my documents, but the old pictures and videos that I had on my old phone are what I'm looking for, and I am so happy that they are still there with me instead of being lost forever. It would be a big tragedy to lose about 5 to 10 years of your memories, including pictures of your high school friends, family events that you've went, some creative stuff you did before, and some really beautiful photography, as well as screenshots that pinpoint an important event in your history, and some downloaded pictures that you can use when you're talking about something. Speaking of Gmail, I decided to check what emails I have, and one of them shows the security key that the hacker implemented, neither of which I've honed. I talked to my friends about getting my Google account back, and indeed, they're happy that I regained access to that. One thing I did since I got my account back is downloading my Google data, specifically my pictures, my videos, my documents, my keep notes, my emails, pretty much a lot of the stuff that I think is essential for me. This is useful in the case where something terrible happens to my account, or if I'm actually planning to give up this account, although the future of this account is pretty uncertain. Even though I was happy that I finally got my account back, it's not all joy and happiness. This ordeal of nearly losing my Google account because of some hacker left me with a big mental scar that may or may not be mended. Again, this is one of the most stressful situations in my entire life. The hacking is also what drove me to download my data and put a lot of recovery information. It also made me develop both fear and hatred of hackers. Fear is because I was scared that if hackers did something bad to my account, I would end up losing them forever. Hatred because ever since the hacking happened to me before, I decided to treat hackers the same way I treat people who commit really horrific crimes. I feel like it should be considered a felony to hack someone's email address, especially if it's a Google email or a Microsoft email. And this is not the only time my account got compromised, or almost compromised. It turns out it's not the first and only time my Google account was at least at risk of being compromised. The first time it happened was in August 2019 when I tried to sign into Wi-Fi at a breakfast restaurant and I saw a message that concerned the security of my account. It was enough that I had to change the password of my Google account. The other instances where my accounts in general were, at best, at risk of being compromised, sans my Google account, all happened in the same week where my Google account got compromised. In the beginning, Facebook told me that there is some suspicious activity going on with my account, so I took action and changed the password of my account, even though I barely used Facebook nowadays. And when I went to Instagram, I saw a place where I did not expect anyone to log in my account to, so I removed it. On Wednesday, I received a critical security alert on my other Google account that I use for education and official sources, which this one is just as much as a bigger threat, if not more so since I used this account for schools, finances, and others, so I changed the password and added a lot of recovery information. And on Thursday, somebody hijacked my Twitter account, posting tweets related to Elon Musk, Meta, Tesla, crypto, and Bitcoin. I never endorsed nor support any of these 5. Fortunately, it took me a quick gander at my Twitter profile that I noticed this issue, so I took this opportunity to screenshot the posts that I never made, deleted those posts, changed my password, and tweet my followers about the situation. And one thing that puzzled me is that I actually have 2FA on my Twitter account. So again, I assume that some hacker did a brute force on this authentication. Thankfully, I got everything under control. The second week of January was very, very rough for me. I can safely say that this might be the worst week I've ever had in my life, and that January 8th was probably one of the worst days of my life. Fortunately, all of these situations were resolved in the end, and now I'm getting more mindful about making sure my accounts are secure enough that hackers and hijackers don't have access to them. A couple of days before I successfully got my account back, I'm starting to have a revelation of what caused the hacking. I do remember the day before I nearly lost my Google account. During that day, I was trying to upgrade my Adobe After Effects app to a newer version. In the past, pirating Adobe products was pretty easy, but nowadays, it's starting to get a little trickier. I tried to find a way to download a new version of the app with a similar method that I used to download Adobe products. But I gave up and used the one with a different method. The method involved some kind of software trickery to download the app for you without needing any patch or crack. The version that I get is the one from early 2023. Originally, I was wanting to get the 2022 version, but I decided it's fine, until I realized it's anything but fine. I noticed a number of performance issues with that version, likely due to my graphics card being on life support. And then after I install Media Encoder, it became clear that both apps have to have the same version number. Okay, I'm getting a little off topic, so let's go back to the revelation. While I was installing the 2023 version, I noticed that the text used a Cyrillic alphabet. Now, I know quite a bit of the Cyrillic alphabet, and I do know some languages that used this alphabet, particularly Russian, but also a bit of Bulgarian and Serbian. I took out my phone to open Google Translate and check if the text is Russian, and indeed it is. After I installed this version with that method, things started to get uglier. While I'm using Chrome, whenever I search something on Google, it would redirect to m.gsearch.co. I was baffled as to why this happened and what this website is. It turns out it is a virus that infects browsers, including Chrome and Microsoft Edge, and makes it do irregular and suspicious activities. So I tried many methods to eliminate that virus, including deleting suspicious extensions and using an antivirus software, and those methods seem to work. So the method that I chose for downloading the 2023 version is apparently unsafe and would cause irregular browser activities and consequently the compromising of my Google account. Now, I'm not trying to discourage people from pirating Adobe products. I would still recommend doing that for freelancers and hobbyists. You just have to do it in a safer way. So I wonder who was the perpetrator of the hack. I'm not trying to look for the person that hacked my account. I'm looking for where this hacking happened. Now, one friend of mine claimed that the hacker must be from India or Russia. He was close to being correct on the latter, but not exactly. Let me do some observations. I already know that the text is in Russian, but there is more to that. I've already told you before that someone in a different country got access to my accounts, as I've seen when I go to Instagram. But I was kind of confused by the country listed because I thought that one already had its own language. I decided to do a little bit of research on that country and what language was spoken there, and it turns out that along with its own language, Russian is the main language of the country, and it turns out that language is widely spoken in said country. And with that, I have concluded that the perpetrator of the hacking of my Google account might be someone who lives in the Eastern European country of Belarus. Belarus, the country that doesn't seem to have a bright future. Unfortunately, I couldn't check what IP address was used to hack my account, but you get the idea of what I'm trying to say. I would like to give a big, huge thanks to a lot of people. I want to thank my friends who are aware of what I had to go through, friends who spread awareness on the issue I had, people who are subscribed to my channel, friends who are happy that I got my account back, and more. As much as I want to clown on Google and YouTube, I would also want to owe them my gratitude for helping me get my account back. And I'm also going to thank my family for helping me deal with the ordeal, especially my brother, who helped me fill out the forms and whatnot. I'm also very thankful for the people who have watched my content for almost 10 years, and my channel is about to turn 10, so I am planning something special for this occasion, and it's not just going to be a video of me saying that I've been on YouTube for 10 years. And as for the future of both my old channel and my new channel, I'm pretty unsure about it. On the video on my new channel, I was making some plans on what to do with my new account, but that plan, and pretty much the entire video itself, is pretty much moot. Maybe my new channel can work as some kind of an alt account or an extension of my old channel, or maybe I would move my more creative and original output to this channel, relegating my old channel to my personal one. You people can decide. As for my downfall parodies, I decide to resume working on a video about 2022. However, the future of my unterganging is still uncertain. I may not retire from making these parodies, but those will be pretty much low priority videos. Again, I would like to thank you people for all your support. I will keep making content on not just YouTube, but also my other platforms. And that is it for this video. I want to let my subscribers know that I am doing fine and well. I have suffered from a stressful ordeal where I nearly lost my Google account. Thankfully, a miracle allowed me to regain access. And I want to thank a lot of people for their support. And on a side note, while I was talking to you guys, you are also seeing me draw a picture of my persona, thanking you for all your support during a rough time. And that drawing perfectly represents what I have to go through and how I feel about you people. I hope you enjoyed this drawing I did. Anyways, I have to end this video. This is Tanzim Kazi, over and